Why don't you feel valuable? Why don't you understand your self-worth? Is it something from your past? Is it a limiting belief? Is it a fear? Is it not knowing what you actually know? I think it's super important to not only explore that, but then take action on it.
If you don't believe in your own ability to earn money, if you don't believe in your own ability to grow and to learn and to develop, if you don't believe in your own future and your own career, if you don't believe that you can be excellent, why would you invest in that?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of Next Level University, where we teach you how to level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth.
Oh, yeah.
Today, for episode number 602, as Alan jeffs the microphone as he often does, we are going to talk to you about how to level up your self-worth.
Self-worth is a really, really important topic because, so what was it? Small talk. So last Wednesday's episode, we were talking about the importance of identity.
Yes.
And if you have an identity where you don't feel like you're worth it, will you invest? Here's the frame, and then I know you have a great frame and analogy for this too. So real quick, okay, if you and I were to have $10,000 each and we were to invest in the stock market, we would pick companies that we believe will grow. Mm-hmm. We would pick companies that we believe will grow in value over time. So if we buy Apple stock, so your 10 grand and my 10 grand, we put $20,000 into Apple stock, we are basically predicting, betting on that Apple will be more valuable in the future. And when we sell that stock, we'll make a profit. The analogy here is, are people going to invest in themselves if they don't believe that they will grow? And I think that if you're a listener of this show, obviously you're investing in yourself right now just by listening to this, mm-hmm. right? Because time is a currency, just like money. And so, check in with your self-worth on this episode. If you believe that you are worth it, you will consistently work out. You will consistently read books. Is your future worth it? Is your career worth it? Is your relationship worth it? Think of an intimate relationship that you've been in that really wasn't very good. Were you willing to invest heavily into that relationship? Probably not, compared to if you were in a magnificent relationship. Of course you're going to be willing to invest.
The analogy that I use, and I've used for a long time, is if you have a car that has 4 flat tires, you're more than likely not going to go put a new paint job on that car. You're not going to put a stereo in it. You're not going to put new rims on it. You're going to hesitate to invest in it.
Right.
And I believe that even going back to the identity thing, do you identify as somebody who is into growth, is into self-development, right? Like, that's part of your identity.
Yeah, for sure.
That's part of your self-worth. How valuable do you feel as a human being?
Right.
How much value can you bring to a conversation? I'm convinced, it's interesting because we're going to be sending out we're going to have a PDF that we'll have for 5 ways to build confidence. But one of the things that across the board that I've seen to help build confidence is self-development. The more capable of a human being you become, the more confident you become.
For sure.
The more you know, the more confident you become.
Right.
Because confidence and uncertainty go hand in hand, right? If I put you under the hood of a car, how confident are you that you could fix it?
Very low.
Very low. If I put you under the hood of a business, how confident are you that you can fix it?
Very high.
Very high.
Right.
That's one you're certain with and one you're uncertain with. That's what confidence is.
Right.
But if your self-worth is connected to what you may know or may not know, I think personal development is the answer.
Same.
Genuinely. And think of it this way. In the car analogy, it might have 4 flat tires, but what if you know how to fix them?
Exactly. What if you have the ability to not only fix the tires, but also fix the rims and the engine and put a turbo in it? It's that's about the extent of everything I know about cars.
It's got a gas cap and windshield wipers.
Yeah, right.
Put those on there.
You put the gas gauge, all that stuff. Put a new stereo in it.
Yeah, we could say that.
The question that I want, here's a good analogy too. Let's say Kevin and I both buy a home, separate home, okay, both for $400,000. One of us wants to sell it for $700,000 5 years from now. The other one just wants to live in it. Who's going to redo the kitchen? Who's going to redo the porch? Mm-hmm. Who's going to, redo the roof and make sure the shingles are on point? Who's going to take better care of the house? The answer is obvious. The person who wants to sell it for $700,000. Even if I sell it for $500,000, if my goal was $700,000, I was going to take better care of it. And I think that if you're not future oriented and you're out there, I just want to encourage you to check in with your self-worth and check in with, is your future self worth it? Every single time that you eat potato chips, and I eat potato chips, so I'm going to be honest, right?
Same.
Every time I'm eating potato chips while having a big fitness goal and it's above my caloric set point, I know that I'm investing in the now over the future. And I think this, John Maxwell talks about it, it's the pay now, play later motto. The reason why credit cards are so prominent is because it's play now, pay later.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no alternative to this rule in my perspective, from my opinion. There is no way to, so like let's say Kevin and I both want to buy a new car. I go out and I find a way to earn an extra $500 a month through hard work and sweat equity in our business. Kevin decides to throw it on a credit card.
I've been known to in the past.
From time to time. Kevin's going to get the car sooner than me. But he's also going to pay for that big time in interest later. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's the thing. If you don't believe in your own ability to earn money, if you don't believe in your own ability to grow and to learn and to develop, if you don't believe in your own future and your own career, if you don't believe that you can be excellent, why would you invest in that?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching this or listening to this, it's obvious that you want to get to the next level of your life. We can help you get there faster.
In 3 months from today, your life can look completely different. Here's how. Group coaching. Here's what you're going to get. So you're going to get bi-weekly calls with Kevin and myself. You're going to be on a team of 10 like-minded, growth-oriented individuals. You're also going to be in a WhatsApp chat with Kevin and I and the entire team, 24/7 access to chat. Also, you're going to get bi-weekly progress reports and peak performance tracking.
Guys, this is a great opportunity for those who can't afford one-on-one coaching with Alan and myself. We have helped dozens and dozens of people get to the next level at this point. Go to nextleveluniverse.com, click group coaching, or find the link in the show notes.
Talk to you soon.
I think another thing too, and again, we have a lot of coaches that listen to this,
right,
and early entrepreneurs. When it comes to understanding and leveling up your self-worth, that directly connects to your business.
Right.
If you're a coach and you think you're worth X amount per hour and you're only charging X amount per hour, and again, obviously in the early times you have to charge what you can charge to pay the bills, but that's something I've experienced in the past, and we've talked about that,
right,
of like understanding my level of self-worth as a podcast coach or a podcast consultant. Like I tend to know more than a lot of people because we've done 600 episodes and you and I have been in the driver's seat for every single one of them.
Let's do this real quick, and then I know we got to go soon. Okay, so Kevin's a podcast coach. Everyone who listens to this show knows that.
Next Level Podcast Solutions.
Let's say that you took 1,000 podcasters, random sampling on the globe. How many of them have performed and produced and posted 600 episodes?
Well, in fairness, I got to give a shout out to Ron and Aaron because they do our production now. Out of 1,000? Yeah.
I know the answer, but I wonder if you do. Statistically, sorry, that was arrogant.
I know the answer. Out of 1,000, I don't know, 2?
0.
Okay.
It's 0.
Okay.
So the amount of people that have 600 episodes in the podcast industry is 0.00001%.
Yeah, very, very low.
And so if you crunch the numbers on that, if I said 100,000, it would have been like probably 10, or maybe 100. No, 10. So, but again, I'm not right. Kevin's not right. The point is that do you consider yourself, does Kevin see himself as that valuable, that right, rare?
Right.
There's a reason why diamonds are so expensive because they're quote unquote rare when in reality they're just like hiding diamonds. But like, Kev, you are that rare. Do you treat yourself that way? Do you see yourself that way? And do you charge the amount that predicates that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I often tell Kevin, like, yo, man, in my honest opinion, you can help someone start, grow, and monetize a show better than almost anyone on the planet, never mind in this country or in the world. I mean, in this state. But do you see yourself that way? And in my opinion, you don't know your own worth in that arena yet. I think you're learning it, right? And you can overcharge too early too.
For sure.
There's that as well. But if you're out there listening right now, that's really the message today. Like Kevin, and we're all guilty of this, do you know your own worth? And honestly, I'm guilty of this too. No BS. I'm being paid a very small amount of money to help one of my clients sell their business. And people who help people buy and sell businesses that are in the multi-million-dollar range, they make a lot more than I'm making right now. And Emilia's illuminated, like, Alan, like, your math brain is very, very valuable. How many people know as much about business as you, Alan?
Right.
And I would say, honestly, it's hard to say this. I don't want to sound arrogant, but, like, very, very, very few. Like, very few. And most of the mentors who do know as much about business as me are making millions of dollars. So we all have this problem of self-worth. The question is, where does it land for you? And do you believe in yourself as much as you should? You know, and are you charging what you should? I think is what I want everybody to contemplate.
A great way to figure this out, and this is something I really started to understand when we're blessed to have. I gotta sneeze. Hold on. I don't know. Have I ever sneezed on air? Hold on. Boom, gone. We're very blessed to have big guests and successful guests and guests that can afford a higher price point.
Right.
When I started to get on the phone with guests and do more calls, that's when I really started to understand my value.
Right.
Now, again, understand that not everybody's actually willing to pay what you're worth. That's a whole nother thing. We could do an episode on that. I was telling a client that, like,
For sure.
don't be ashamed if you don't get the client every time. You're not going to. Like, that's not the way numbers work. So,
Right.
but I think it's important for you to figure out, why don't you feel valuable? Why don't you understand your self-worth? Is it something from your past? Is it a limiting belief? Is it a fear? Is it not knowing what you actually know? I think it's super important to not only explore that, but then take action on it.
The very last thing I'll say here is
Quickly.
I think that I remember I asked Dave Meltzer on one of our coaching calls. I said, if your son or daughter could only take one course in high school, what would it be and why? And he said statistics. And the reason he said statistics is kind of what I just took Kevin through. You didn't know your own value because you didn't think of it from a statistical standpoint.
Emotional.
Right? Even just being in a country that has the opportunity that ours does is already rare statistically, globally, right? And do we understand our real value when a lot of the world actually can't read and write? You know, so I just think it's really important for us to always check in and realize how blessed we are.
We are blessed. We are blessed. And I think the numbers side is always super important to look at things from a logical versus emotional, especially when it comes to self-worth.
For sure.
Because you're telling yourself a story.
Right.
Right? At the end of the day, you're telling yourself a story. And how often is that story actually true? For me, I know it hasn't been a ton in the past.
Same.
Ladies and gentlemen, as of May 7th, we will be opening up our third round of group coaching.
Oh, yeah.
Again, 90 days, full of support, full of lessons, full of next levelness. We will have an amazing community of people in a WhatsApp chat. We'll be doing bi-weekly coaching for 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, I'm convinced now more than ever, and you're actually going to hear this tomorrow on our Next Level Meetup Monday from last week, the community. You're going to see what the team has learned over the last however long they've been on the team. You know, Amy and Tiff have been on the longest, and then, you know, Brandon and Jenna and Jen and everybody else. So your community is so important. You already surround yourself with people. Are they the right people? Are they the people helping you get to the next level, or are they the people that you just always hung out with?
Right.
If you're always staying around the same people, you're going to get the same results.
One of our close friends and clients recently said that she set bigger goals because she wanted to fit in. How many people actually set bigger goals in an effort to fit in? That's what being on a winning team will do. It's almost like personal development is expected. And that doesn't mean anyone's going to make you feel bad if you're not. It's just we all kind of want to be loved and we want to fit in, and we all are a byproduct of our environment. Are you in an environment that's going to bring you to your goals, not farther from it? And that's what group coaching is.
And you're going to get permission to be you.
Right.
That's the other thing. Like, give yourself permission to be great. Give yourself permission to dream big. Like, nobody's going to make fun of you for that. We're going to support you.
100%. Also, every Saturday,
Classic.
12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Another book club.
Oh, yeah. There's a next level book club that's absolute fire. Right now, we're reading The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. What do you need to know? These are great books with great people having great conversations. You do not have to read every word of every chapter to be a part of it. You can come in and out. We actually have a WhatsApp chat. The last call, we had vulnerable conversations. We dug deep, but there were 2 people there that didn't even put their mic or their camera on. That's totally fine. Join us anytime. If you want to join that, you can DM myself or the co-pilot, which is Brandon. And DM me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you name it. Just say, I want to be a part of the Next Level Book Club, and we hope to have you.
Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, we love you. We appreciate you. And as always, we do not have fans. We have family. We will talk to you on the next one.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.